All right, we're gonna make a new character to go over the initial setup and how it's gonna work. Right off the bat, if you don't have the cooldown manager enabled, it's going to give you a warning that it's disabled. You just hit enable and reload. All right, I'll come back when I have the rest of this all off the screen. All right, all that's off the screen. So starting out, you might have something that looks like this. This is the default layout. So if you go in here and you go to profile, it's going to say the active is default. And the spec is frost none. So let me go ahead and set this up real quick. All right, I got the hero spec set up. So you might be looking something like this. Like I said, you can change this however you want, as many icons as you want, set up the layout however you want. Then from there, anything that's orange and saturated means it's not currently in a section that's tracked. Currently, it put everything in a section except for auras. It put a few things in there. You can add more things to it. It doesn't matter whether you put it in track buffs or bars, unless you're tracking a bar for the actual CDM buff bar, then put it in bars. You just chuck this stuff wherever, and then we can go ahead and remove these spells that we don't know, since we don't need them. We can click and add. Let's say we want to track. It's pretty good. Let's add mirror image to utility, and we can adjust it. I always do defensive on the left, ice block, alter time, mirror image. Then I'll put time warp blast and then my movement ability over here. For utility, I always put the higher cooldowns to the left. Just let's just say put that there. Ooh, Great frost over, close an orb over, Flurry and ice lance. We'll just keep that on there just because. You can put a trinket in there, anything you want to do. For custom bars, it automatically added arcane torrent, but you can scan if you have any potions or anything you want to add. For custom bars, me personally, I like to add like CC over there. Let's say counter spell, I want to add that. Maybe Frost Nova. Maybe Polymorph. Put that over there. On a gold. Guess you could put Move Curse over there. So let's see, we got that. So let's say I want my first bar to show more CCs. I think I do Poly like that. And then on bar two, I want to do like counterspell, decurse, and then my racial. I add those. Now let's say I want to anchor these. Say I want to anchor bar one. Let me anchor it to utility. And I'll anchor it left bottom. Then I can kind of adjust how I want it to B, like that. Let's go to resource real quick. And for resource, it's anchored to utility already. You can clear that if you don't want it anchored there. If you want it anchored somewhere else, go ahead and anchor that somewhere else. The offset, you can see is a little off. So maybe I adjust that down a little. Yeah, that looks better. Then go to custom bars. Go to bar 2, which is over here. I anchor it to utility right bottom, like that. Set my offset over here. Do something like this. I think I'm gonna add a maybe a plus and minus just to allow you to increment. Maybe even, let's see, so that's 1 and 2. Let's see with this one. This is, let's do -1 and 2. Okay. Now back to resource. I can set my bicycle tracker. This tracks the bicycles. So let's say I want that anchored to essential. And maybe I don't want the height so high and increase it a little bit. Then I use unhalted unit frames. So let's create a profile for this character, which is a throwaway character, but we'll just call it Mage. Create profile, copy from my default profile. That. And if I go to player and I click anchor to cooldown viewer, then I can kind of adjust the offset and do the same thing for target. And move it off a little bit. Move the position up so it sits right near the top. I'm not going to get exact with it, but you can have it sit exactly at the top there. That's going to bug me, but I'm going to leave it for now. So now all this is anchored together. And yeah, it's oh yeah, I forgot cast bar. Let's see. Go to cast bar. We anchor that to utility. Bottom, match width. Move the offset a little bit. Maybe move Y a little closer. Like that. It's tracking icicle stack. So now I know exactly when I'm going to have a glacial spike. I have blink set up. So let's say I want to have blink. Let's just move blink. Let's say I want to have, already have blink tracked on the essential. So let's say I want it to have a cooldown text warning. So I just put blink unavailable. Jesus Christ, if I could spell. Unavailable. Hit enter. Change the font. Color. make it a little smaller. Have an icon. Let's see. We'll just do left side. Get like a little small icon. Turn off icon border. Turn on glow. Fix a glow. Let's make that blue too. All right. So now when my blink is unavailable, I'll get the warning. And once it becomes available again, I gain a charge back, it goes away. That's the Blizzard proc flow. So it shows you when you have a proc. So I want to set up a duration bar for ice block. So I select, I find ice block, add that, track it vertical. Let's see, hide bar when active, drain full to empty, bar color's fine. Increase the height, show to saturated on cooldown, anchor below, increase the icon size a bit, maybe go 28, increase the charge text size. I mean, ice block doesn't have charge, so it doesn't matter. Show duration, let's show the ability cooldown. Let's anchor it to custom bar to the top. Move the offset a little bit up. Kind of adjust this over. So I'll just leave that like that for now. Does ice block have 2 charges? No shit. Okay. Guess it does. Let me go ahead and adjust that then. Nope, not that. That's duration text. Right, charge count. I like to adjust this so it's not overlapping the cooldown text. Like that. That way when I use ice block, it'll show me how long it's going to last for. If I cancel it early, cancels it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention the profile. So right now, I'm currently on Crossfire. So now that my default profile is set up, so this is basically personally how I would want all my characters set up, with minor adjustments here and there. So now this is my default. So now I can create a new one, call it Frostfire, create. Now it resets it back to default. I can copy from default that we set up like that. So anyway, now I have my active profile is Frostfire. I can enable auto switch profile and spec change. Go to Frost, enable hero tree, and then under Frostfire, I would select my Frostfire. And then all I would have to do is when I switch to Spellslinger, it's gonna revert back again. So now I would create another profile and I would call this Frost Spellslinger. Create, copy from default or I can copy from Frist. Frist. Okay, hold on. You know what? I'll just rename it. So, Frost Spell Slinger. Okay. So now I can just copy again from our default or from Frostfire. So I'll just do default. And now I can set my spell slinger to Frost Spell Slinger. Now I can go ahead and make any change I need to make. And then when I switch back and forth between hero specs, it'll switch automatically.